Welcome back to 30 Days of Podcasting. We have made it to day 21. You are 2/3 of the way through. You got this. Hang in there. Today on the show, we're talking about launching your podcast, actually getting it out there into the world. And that is scary to a lot of people. You may have recorded, you may have done interviews, you may have done a lot of stuff so far. But launching it is actually the part that's terrifying. I want to make sure that you guys get your launch right so that you have everything that you need to do this in a way that is satisfying, that it gets across what you need to do, it meets goals, it fulfills your why, and it moves you in the right direction with some momentum. So far, you have worked through your foundational elements, your why, your goals, your audience. You know what you're doing, you have it planned out with your content, you're ready to go. So you hit record, you recorded your episode, you've edited it, you have a host ready to go. And what do we do now? Well, launching your podcast can go one of two ways. You can just start putting it out there and see what happens. Sharing your episode with everyone whenever you can, wherever you can, sending it out to your email list, just on the fly as you go. The other way is to do a controlled launch, and that is what most podcasters choose to do. So what you do is you make a trailer. 30 seconds, a minute, doesn't have to be anything fancy. It just basically explains the premise of your show and gives you a release date. Hey, this is 30 Days of Podcasting. We're going to talk all things podcasting from A to Z for 30 continuous days. It's coming out July 1st. Subscribe so that it shows up in your feed when we go live, and we will see you on July 1st. Short, simple, doesn't have to be elaborate, doesn't have to be a clip show, doesn't have to be in a world. None of that. Just say what it is, get it out there, put your music behind it, and go ahead and upload that to your host. That is your first official episode. Congratulations, you've done it. The reason why we do this is because this lets you control your launch in a few ways. One, it sets a hard date, so you have something to promote, to look forward to in the future. It's there. You can start promoting it and get subscribers ready to go so that when you do launch, it's there, it's ready. The other reason is some of these directories take time to get actually showing up into. Apple is notoriously terrible at getting into in a timely fashion. If you submit your feed, your RSS feed that your host gives you, if you submit that to Apple, it could take 24 hours, could take 3 weeks. It just depends on Apple, where they're at, how swamped their podcast department is. I don't know. I don't know how Apple's back end works with podcasting, but sometimes it takes a while to show up in the directory. And just because you have a host doesn't mean that you're automatically going to show up in all of these directories. Apple, you need an Apple ID to submit your podcast through. It doesn't just happen. If you're using Anchor, the free service, it has an automated option. Don't use it because it tags your show to their Apple login, their Apple ID that they assign you. And it is a headache to undo later. It's possible, it's doable. They're getting better at it, but it's a free service, and free services come with free consequences. So go through the major directories. The main two directories right now that you need to get into are Apple and Spotify. Right now, as of 2021, they are about 60% of most downloads for most of the shows that I work with. That is a large share of the market in two directories. The other ones that are taking up a lot of space, Audible, iHeart, and Pandora, they are kind of the next three directories. And then you get into smaller ones that are taking up less than 1% of most of the podcasts that I work with. Stitcher and SoundCloud and further down the list. So start with the most important ones. Start with Apple. Start with Spotify. Get your RSS feed from your host submitted to those directories so they can start looking for your show and getting it populated. I would set your launch date about 3 weeks out just so that you have time to promote. You have time if something goes wrong with Apple and they can't validate your feed. You have time to troubleshoot and figure out what's going on with it without being stressed that tomorrow's launch day and we don't have our Apple yet. Give it time. It's fine. Let it go. Submit it. Start those processes going today. And then start working your networks, your Facebook groups that you're a part of, friends, family, any email list. If you have businesses that you're working with, you have anyone that you've interviewed for the show, start getting them to promote the trailer. Here's the trailer. Go see it. Go watch it. Go listen to it. Whatever you have, get people to it. Because on launch day, when you publish those episodes, you want someone to be there to listen. And building hype, building an event around this launch is one way to do that. Which is the next thing. Make it a fun event. If you can do a live launch with, we're going to have a watch party on Facebook when the first episode pops. We'll listen to it together. You can do that. There are lots of different things out that you can do a live party with. Just make it fun. Make it an event. Make it something to be a part of so that your community is already forming. Hey, I was there at the beginning. I was there at the launch party. Me and my cousin, I helped my cousin to get introduced to this show because I knew it was going to be something that we both relate to. This guy at work that I know, whatever, you're starting to build that community day one. The other thing that is highly recommended by most people in the industry is to launch with 2 to 3 episodes. Unless you're doing a daily show, having 2 to 3 episodes when you actually hit that launch button, it is like it's like bag fries. Like when you go through fast food and there's fries down at the bottom of the bag and you're like, yes, bonus fries. Because people were expecting 1 episode and they get 2. That also builds time for them to build that relationship with you so that you're trusted, so that they know what they're expecting. They're excited for the next episode. They thought they were getting 1, they got 2, and now they know you and they know how the show goes. They know the feel of it, the tone. They really know what to expect right out of the gate. It's phenomenal. Yes, it's 2 episodes that you might have thought you had 2 weeks worth, but now you only had 1. But it really makes an impact on that launch, that boost. It really gets people hooked. So launching, go for it. Set a date and go for it. If you perpetually put off launching, you're never going to launch. You're never going to have a show, and you have a microphone now and maybe a camera. You've got some audio equipment lying around now that you're never going to use. Launch. Just go for it. The worst thing that can happen is no one listens. Okay, but you did it. You've launched. You're ready to go. The best thing that can happen, you get a ton of launch listens. You get people subscribing, sharing the episodes. Hey, there's this brand new podcast. I love it. You got to listen to it. We won't know until you go. So get it ready, get it all lined out, and go for it. Let me know how your launch goes. I'd love to hear launch stories because some are phenomenal and some are flops, and we learn from everything. But we don't know if we don't go. Launch your podcast. You've done the work. Let's go. I'll see you tomorrow as we're talking about roadblocks, mental roadblocks, because launching can be scary. So we're going to talk about these mental roadblocks, things that might get in the way, that hinder you as a podcaster, that make things scary or just get in the way. So I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of 30 Days of Podcasting. Until then, do the work. Go back, do the work. If you're unsure about something, let me know. And I'll see you next time. Hey guys, make sure you subscribe, like the video to help out the algorithms, and hit the bell if you want notifications whenever we drop a new episode, which is every day for the month of July. If you want a longer format or audio-only version, check us out wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Audible, all the places. We're there. So check it out, and we will see you soon.